What's up, everybody? Episode 47. Evening Hour Live. And this is a real fun one, folks. Get ready. Oh, boy. Let's turn on the live cam and have some fun. Come on in, folks. Grab a drink. All right. Cheers. Happy Friday, everybody. All right. And the vinyl. Folks, my name is Cardone. You are watching Evening Hour, episode 47. I am jacked on water, plastic. There are things around me you can't see right now. This is episode 47. And it's entitled, All Hail Godzilla. I raise a glass this Friday night to the immortal, mighty, giant lizard known as Godzilla. Cheers, everybody. I'm sure every single person here has seen a Godzilla movie. Wait till you have no idea. I have some Godzilla toys here that even the Godzilla fans may have never seen before. So I'm very excited to show those. I'm also excited to talk about the Godzilla universe, the old movies, the new movies, all of the above. We're going to go nuts tonight. If you got something to say, a fact, yeah, I almost showed Bambi versus Godzilla tonight. I was thinking of showing that, but, yeah, come on in. I got all my crew in here. Come on in. Hey, Pataka. Is that Pataki? No, that's not Pataki. Oh, yeah, we got Serena, Ashworth, Talon, William, Eric, Fingers, come on in. Hey, I was wondering, is Ryder out there? Is Ryder watching? Wondering if little Ryder's watching. I got a little buddy who's a major Godzilla fan. I think he might be watching too. Come on in, grab a drink. I'm drinking seltzer water tonight. Seth. Did you? You watched the first chunk. Wow, I love it. Welcome, Seth. Come on in. Let me move this over here. I have so much to say tonight. Hey, there he is. There's Greg and Ryder. Hi, Ryder. Ryder, Ryder, for the audience watching, is a neighbor who's, he's a little guy. He's just going to turn 4 soon. He's 3. And, he's a Godzilla fan. He knows all the monsters. And him and I play with these sometimes. So, what's up, Ryder? We got to have a play date soon. And we got to go see the new movie. That's right. We're going to go see that movie. He says, hi, Uncle Orc. Yeah, my name is Uncle Orc. Which is a name I like. I actually like that as my uncle name. Jimmy D. Greg, my mama's in the house. What's up, Mama? Mom, do you remember this? I think you do. Especially this one. So, I don't even know where to start. I am going to start. I'm very excited to do this episode. Helen, Metropolis. If you're watching, your package is coming. It's a little late. I've been a little under the weather and can't get to the post office. You're getting your package. I'm also holding another contest tonight. If you're watching right now and you're going to stay to the end of the episode, you have a chance to win this book. Boom. I got 2 copies in the mail. And guess what? My gain is also your gain. This is Grandpa's Witched Up Christmas, which is a reprint of the original, reprinted by Feral House. Everybody know Feral House? Feral House reprinted a really rare, awesome book by the artist James Flora. If you would like to win this book tonight, all you have to do right now is in the chat, let's say you have to write the number 4. Write down number 4. Because that's how many toes the original Godzilla has. That's how you know you're watching the original one. So write down 4. Number 4 right now. And you will get a chance to win this book at the end of the episode. Everybody drop a 4 in the chat. If you ain't in the chat, you're not in the show. You got to participate by throwing it in the chat. We got lots of viewers in here now. Come on in. Bring them in. Oh, there we go. There's Helen. Helen, you might win 2 prizes. All right, Peter, Eric, Fallon, everybody, come on in. Throw it in. This book, if you've got nieces, nephews, or you're a weirdo and like 70s kids book art, this is all for you. Seth, everybody, come on in. So, as we're doing that, a couple of little notes. Oh, cool. We got a good chat going. This is a very chatty show. I got people that come and watch my show 3 days a week, and they're all chatters. So if you're new to this channel, please participate. I encourage it. I also ask a very small favor, and that is if you are new to the channel, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and please hit the notify bell. Because if you don't hit that damn notify bell, you are not going to get all my stuff. That's just the way it is. So, subscribe, notify, the whole thing. Yeah. So, let's chat about a couple notes before we get into the big G. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, if you're a donor, thank you. I got a new camera. My dream when I started this channel was to get better gear through the donation process. And I have done such. And all the people that have donated, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. It goes right in the show. I ain't profiting from this yet. Maybe one day I will, and that will be awesome. Right now, it goes right into the show. So everybody who's thrown me a 10, a 20, a 5, whatever, really, it means something. So, and if you can't donate, that's cool. Sit back. Enjoy the show. You know, a lot of broke people now. That's cool. And you can just like and subscribe and share. So, another thing, if this channel ever just goes and goes out, which it does. Oh, yes, it can. If the power goes out, which it does where I live all the time. Rockaway Beach people, you know this. If the power goes out... Yes! Fingers just said it. If I get 1,000 subscribers, YouTube pays me. I'm about at 700. Thank you. Thank you, Fingers. Grazie. If the channel goes down, just chill out. Give it a couple minutes. 5 minutes. I'm going to have to reboot everything and see if I can get it to roll. If it doesn't happen, go to Instagram. The reason why you can go to Instagram is because even if the power goes out, I can turn my phone on and do a live broadcast right there on Instagram. Cardone Magic. That's the Instagram channel. Cardone Magic. Okay, cool. Anybody else, come on in. Put in there number 4, and you will have a chance to win this book. Number 4 in the chat. Oh, someone's got a soft spot for Mothra. Oh, I'm going to be talking about Mothra. Oh, yes, I am. Quickly, before we jump into the big G, future episodes, I know Ryder's probably like, when's he going to talk about Godzilla? It's coming, Ryder. I have a couple episodes I'm working on for next week. The thing I'm going to do next week, it will be the first time I do a live interview on my shows. I have it set up now so I can click over to a Zoom chat. And I believe, hi, Eric, come on in. I believe I'm going to be interviewing the artist Stuart Palm, the guy who's designing the Satanic playing cards. I'm going to have him live on the show, and we're going to do a little Q&A and maybe talk a little bit of how we came up with the concepts. Oh, there we go. Libra Liz adding a 4. There you go. Cool. So, I'm working on some episodes. One of them is an episode on Dracula 1979 and the Broadway play Dracula. I'm going to do an episode on that. Aaron, what's up? Come on in. Aaron, if you want to enter the contest, put a number 4 in the box. Number 4. Look, 4 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Working on an episode, possibly, on the Council of Nicaea. Ah, there we go. There's Fallon. What's up? You're a Mothra fan, Fallon. Me too. The cards are coming along, Eric. So I actually had a long meeting today with him on the phone. I'm glad you asked. It gives me something to chat about for a couple minutes here. We only have a couple more. Up, Mecha Kong rocks. And I'll bet that was Little Rider saying it. Right there, Mecha Kong. We only have 2 more jacks, 1 more queen, and then lots of little things. But that's it. The deck is just basically almost designed. There's a big... One of the cards is coming out soon that I'm going to do a big unveiling of sooner in the next 2 weeks. And we're developing the t-shirt website. It's taking a while because our t-shirt website that's going to have everything for sale for everybody that didn't participate, it's going to have 2 sections. There's going to be the hand silk screen shirts and then the ones that are factory made. And we're trying to figure out how to build the site around that. So it's coming. Yeah, the cards are going to be earlier than the date we said. They're definitely going to come out earlier. Trying for summerish, end of summer. Summer sometime, hopefully. Once we send it off, it's pretty quick. I can't wait. It's my dream to have a deck of cards I designed. And the artist guy that I'm working with is a very close friend of mine, and we work really well together. Like it's pure collaboration. It's a good vibe. So glad you asked. A show on dragons. Oh, the jokers are going to be outrageous. A dragon. Interesting. Well, maybe a show on how okay, here's a show I could do. How symbolism's not universal. And use the dragon as an example. How culturally it has a different vibe. Yeah, a good idea, William. I'll put that in the think tank, actually. I also want to do an episode on Gwar. Dave Brocky's 7-year anniversary for taking off to a new planet was the other day. And he was definitely my favorite working class artist. So much so, I tattooed him on my chest when he died. He really was a role model when I was a little kid as a working class artist and musician. So, all in the works. All right, folks. We're running out of time here. We got to get into the big G. I'm going to move this here. And move this here. And we are about to talk about a subject I love talking about. And I love spreading the news that the new movie's coming out. And we're going to do it right now. So everybody, grab a drink. Grab a snack. I have a water here and a tea. Black tea and water is my... Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to do a Gwar episode. They changed my life when I was a kid. So, we are about to celebrate the longest running film series on Earth. The Big G. All hail Godzilla. Right here's Godzilla 1954, folks. We're going to talk about all of these different toys here. There's some back here. I even have here big... I collect play sets. I have about 15 of these, and I couldn't bring them all out. They're all in the other room. I would literally have to move an entire room. Yes, true, Amanda. Yep. Oh, you did! There you go. Stuart Palm's Pendulum Magic today. Excellent. Yeah, he's going to talk about that on the show. So I have play sets and toys and figures. And look, if you look at the hand cam, more toys. We'll get to all that. Godzilla, longest running film series. There are 29 Japanese Godzilla live action films, folks. 29. There are 4 Hollywood Godzilla movies. And there are 3 anime films produced by Japanese guys. And that makes him, as Fingers just said, the king of all monsters. He could be the king of all fictional characters. Now, the most portrayed fictional character of all time, people don't all know this, is Sherlock Holmes. He is the most portrayed fictional character of all time. Number 2 would be Count Dracula. But Godzilla cleans it up on the film series. So, how did I discover the Big G? Well, when I was a little kid, we didn't have videos. Oh, Jet Jaguar? We'll talk about Jet Jaguar. Did you know that Jet Jaguar was a fan creation? It was like a contest. They came up with the concept of what he looked like. I saw Godzilla for the first time in my life by watching TV on Saturdays and Sundays. We had movie marathons all the time. They'd show them on TV. And one of my earliest memories is watching a Godzilla film in my Nana's house. Fran, my mom's watching. They had a den. And in the den, my granddad cut a hole in the wall, put a frame, and mounted a TV inside the wall. So it looked like it was in a picture frame. And I remember being all alone, sitting in a chair, watching Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, a.k.a. Gojira Taihidra. That's the Japanese title. And that film, it scared me. There are corpses in that film. There's like a scene where the Smog Monster flies over, and there's just like a layer of corpses. That's one of my first experiences. So I saw that. And then I saw my favorite Godzilla movie that doesn't have Godzilla in it. It's called King Kong Escapes. And King Kong Escapes is the film that featured the Japanese King Kong fighting Mechani-Kong. Mechani-Kong, this is a pretty rare toy at this point. This is the Bandai one. A Robot Kong. It's a Toho film. Toho is the company that produced and owns the Godzilla IP. When I saw that movie, I was in it. I loved anything that had a guy in a rubber suit smashing things. I finally, eventually, throughout the years, prior to videotapes, oh yeah, where is that? I am missing one thing. Darn it. I knew I was missing something. My very first videotape. Well, it's here somewhere. Where the heck did I put that? I'll find it. It's literally here somewhere. I was moving so many things around. If it's the only thing I don't have, it's okay. I saw every Godzilla movie throughout the years just by watching them on TV. And then, you know, if you got lucky, you'd catch them all. And they would do marathons where they'd show like 4 or 5 in a row. Usually, they would show the first one, the American version, because there's 2 versions. Godzilla vs. Mothra. They would show Smog Monster. They would show, once in a while, Destroy All Monsters. That's the one I always wanted, and they never showed. But Invasion of Astro Monster, which is definitely my favorite one. A lot of people want to know about one of my tattoos on my arm, and I don't know if I can show you. Right, I don't know if it's in focus. Right there, that's the bad guy from Invasion and Astro Monster. That definitely has always been one of my favorite alien bad guys. So I liked all the movies, and I didn't quite know why, but I was a little kid. I liked great big scary monsters who showed power. And a lot of these old Godzilla movies, Godzilla was the good guy. He was like the friend of the little kid kind of thing. So that's how I got into it. And I'm not going to dwell on just that notion right now, because we have a lot to go through. But he definitely became not only my favorite movie monster of sorts, but as for... okay. Good question. Does he have a weakness? Yeah. Well, he's the king for a reason, and you'll see why. I liked him because they were toys, too. And I was trying to figure out today which Godzilla toy was my favorite. Or first, I should say. And it could be possibly this one. This is one of those things that you would see. This guy right here. It might be him. It might be him. And it also might be this. This toy right here changed a lot of little kids' lives in America. In the late 70s, this toy was a very popular Santa Claus item. And it came out in the late 70s, 78, and it was part of the Shogun Warriors series. And this was the American version. And it's very famous because, A, it could do this. Oh, my vinyl's done. It also has a fist that you hit a button and it launches it. Okay? Which doesn't make any sense because that's not a power Godzilla ever had in ever. And it also had, I'm sure a lot of you know these. Gamera. You know why they don't team up? Because Gamera is owned by Daiei, a different movie company. Gamera is another IP. Yeah. There is a little glimpse of a dead Gamera in Final Wars. Look at this ugly red dial. I always hated that when I was little. It's like, why do they have to put such a big globby dial? But you can find these around. They're not that okay, his tongue broke off. Yeah. Now, I discovered at an early age a really great thing about this. I'm going to show, my mom's watching right now. The tail came off. This is how they came packaged. Well, if you take the tail off of mine and you look inside, you will find inside, are you ready for this? A package of Lancaster chewing tobacco from the 80s. I used to hide chewing tobacco in here from my parents because, kids, chewing tobacco is bad for you and little kids shouldn't chew tobacco, but I did. And I would hide it in the tail. Look, and it's still in here and I'm going to leave it in there forever just because. So there you go. Mom, now you know where I hid my chewing tobacco. For those of you wondering about this one, we're going to talk about him later. This is a Holy Grail toy. This is the original toy that this is based off of. And I'll tell you a story about him later. So let's talk about the Big G. Honestly, you know what started Godzilla? King Kong. That's it. King Kong is the king. He's a king too, folks. King Kong is a king. Willis O'Brien, the special effects master who made the special effects for King Kong, changed the game. He opened up the eyes of so many people. It was the first time anybody had ever seen anything like that on film. And it holds up to this day. Yes, this is in good shape. I took care of it. Thank you. Dude, the chat tonight's fun. So, I honestly, I can only imagine what it was like to see King Kong in the movie theater. RKO Pictures, big splashy Hollywood film, beautiful, right? Mind-blowing effects, right? So a lot of people saw that. A lot of young filmmakers. I do like Peter Jackson's Kong. I do. It has lots of heart in it. I chewed tobacco. Oh yes, I did for many years. If I could have one vice and get away with it for the rest of my life without any repercussions, it might be that. I'm not kidding. The King Kong stimulated lots of young filmmakers and special effects people. And when Toho Cinema... So you've got King Kong. Then you've got Hiroshima, 1945. We dropped a bomb on a country we were at war with, which at the time was Japan. We dropped a nuclear bomb twice, and the devastation was so much that it was shocking. I'm going to tell a really quick story. I have been to the Hiroshima Dome in Japan, and I'll tell you, a quick little example of I was not in the war. I was not there. I didn't see the bomb. I've seen photographs. We've all read about it. You know, the Japanese bombed us and then we attacked them. They wouldn't quit fighting, so we dropped nukes. Right? That's the basic story. They had a thing in the museum that made my jaw hit the floor. And here's what it was. You walked in, and on the wall, it says very clear, we attacked the USA. They had like a whole thing. It's like, we attacked the USA, and then they retaliated. They don't hide that. You walk into a room, and there's a miniature of Hiroshima. But it's like the size of a basketball court. The buildings are, you know, big. It's a, what do they call them? It's a big-iature. Miniature, but big-sized. And you walk into this massive room, and you go, wow, this is Hiroshima. Then you walk into the next room, and it's the same city model after the bomb, and there's nothing there. It's so shocking that one bomb does what they show you with this miniature set that it made my stomach sick. Like, literally sick. Like it's an inhuman kind of power. It's a power that people shouldn't even tool with a little bit, just to, like, you know, it's so bad that it shocked me. And I can only imagine the people there at the time who didn't even know what was going on with the war. They didn't know. They were being propagandized too. They were just civilians mostly. What that did to them, their psyche, right? So you have that. You have, after the war, Japan gets going quick. They got hammered, and they started doing things again quickly. They started making movies, and the first film to deal with Hiroshima was called Children of Hiroshima. And it was a documentary. Then there was another movie just called Hiroshima. And then Toho was going to do this movie about a monster. And I was like a little rascal. And then something else happened. The Bikini Atoll incident. We tested a nuke on a little piece of land. This is after the fact, and the radiation caused a fishing boat to get hit with the radiation. They were fishing. They were called the Lucky Dragon, and they all died eventually. They got sick and died. And that story is where they got the idea for making Godzilla. Because if you watch the original 1954 Godzilla film, that's how it starts. There's a fishing boat, and there's this crazy thing that happens, and you don't see what it is, and then you find out it's this guy. And that is how it started. And if you watch the original film, not the American version with Raymond Burr, it is a very dark, sad reflection of what that war was, how terrible that force of energy is, and it's a really kind of a sad story. The American version only has like 60% of the original footage. The rest of it was reshot with other actors to Americanize it. So, you're right, Fallon. That nuke that was dropped on Hiroshima was a small one compared to what we have today. I'm not kidding you. It was weird. I walked through the museum with a really nauseous feeling in my stomach. And at the end, they had a guest book, and you could sign in it. And the thing that people were writing were like, don't forget Pearl Harbor. Don't forget Pearl Harbor. And I was like, that's what you think of after... That's what the American people were saying after walking through the museum. I mean, okay, yeah, but it just to me is like... It's like someone punching you and you dumping a toxic poison on the entire... It's just too much. It's like... So, yeah, I was a little disturbed. It seemed to me that everybody should see that museum so that you realize how bad nuclear energy can be. So this film was them expressing themselves through a monster, which is what you do, you know, with art. So where's the name Godzilla come from? We'll go quickly on that. You take the word gorilla and the word whale. That's it. Gorilla is gorilla. Kuchira is whale. And you put them together and you get Gojira. Gojira. and that's where they got the name. The sound effect, I remember reading, they said for his voice, which I can't play the music on the show, it'll pull the channel. The sound effect was a leather glove and a contrabass, and I think he like moved his hand with resin on it on these strings, and it was, and it made the sound, and then they distorted it. So there he is, the big G. And then we have, all right, now we're gonna go into the films, and look at this. You see all these monsters? Look at that. So through this series, a lot of monsters grew out of it. And, oh yeah, the Criterion stuff's beautiful. Oh yeah. I can't wait to read these chats. We have a good chat in here tonight. So, in the series of Godzilla movies, mind you, there's a lot of them. They're kind of broken up into chunks. And Seth, I think you just said you saw the first chunk. They're called the Showa series. Showa, referring to the Emperor of Japan at the time. And then the Heisei series is the next series. And then we say Millennium series, which started with Godzilla 2000. And then we have the American stuff, the new ones. So with the Showa, the old ones, it starts with Godzilla 1954, the original one. The follow-up film is called Godzilla Raids Again in English. Oh, that's the other thing. Every Godzilla movie has a million titles. The English title, there's usually 2 or 3 different ones. Then there's the Japanese title. And then there's the foreign titles. And they're all different. So it's a little bit of a confusing mess. My favorite Godzilla movie, I'll tell you right now, besides the one with King Kong, is Invasion of Astro Monster, a.k.a. Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. That's another title. Also called Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. I mean, there's so many different names for it. So we have Godzilla 54. Then we go into Godzilla Raids Again, the sequel, where he fights a new monster. The first time he's pitted against one. This is the modern version. But anybody remember this guy? That is Anguillus. He looks like an armadillo with spikes. He is Godzilla's first opponent. And then we come to the third Godzilla film, which was at the time the highest grossing one. And it's called King Kong vs. Godzilla. It was supposed to be King Kong versus Frankenstein. Now, Willis O'Brien, the guy that made the special effects for King Kong, RKO, Hollywood, he wrote a little script where King Kong was going to fight a Frankenstein creation that was a big, scary, Prometheus-looking guy. And he brought it to the Toho people, and I think they were trying to do some sort of collaboration. They ended up taking the script and kind of copying it. And they were like, well, we're not doing Frankenstein. We're going to make it Godzilla. And they kept some of the stuff. Notice King Kong has electrical hands. And he can grab Godzilla and shock him. That's because it's a Frankenstein power. They left it in. Now, I love King Kong versus Godzilla, the original one. I think it's fun. I like the music. I like the humor. I like the fights. It's a really, really, really great movie. I've seen it a million times. It's in my top 5 Godzilla favorite films. And it did very well. And it's called King Kong versus Godzilla because Godzilla wasn't as famous as King Kong at the time. King Kong was the celebrity, which is why his name went first. And it's why, at the end of the movie, King Kong wins. And there are not 2 endings in the Japanese one. There's only one. It's the same ending in the American one and the Japanese one. It's an urban legend that there's 2 separate endings. Oh, the mecha stuff is great. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So that movie came out and did very well. People loved it. I loved it. Toho Kong. Toho Kong is my favorite one. This is a Bandai Toho Kong. There's the tag. I think these are like $300-400 already. I think that guy is too. So if you collect toys, take care of them. They go up in value. I have a good security system here, folks, so don't ever think about coming over here. Yeah, like right here, there's I don't know, $3,000 worth of toys on top of this table right now. Not kidding. Save your toys and take care of them, and one day you might have some worth to them, you know? So now let's move into some of these, the Heisei series here. Oh, wow, wait, why are these out of order? Are you kidding me? Showa. Let me see here. Hold on a second here. I have so many notes. Yeah. So here we go. Here we go. I have it over here. The Showa period. So yeah, we got Anguillus. We've got Kong. Godzilla Kong's the first one in color too. In color. Big deal. And it was filmed in Toho Scope, which is their version of, what do you call it? Rotoscope? The Hollywood version. It's like a widescreen look. 1967, they followed up. The sequel to King Kong Godzilla was King Kong Escapes, which is definitely my favorite Daikaiju Eiga, which means giant monster movie cinema. Daikaiju is what we call this genre, which means Dai meaning big and Kaiju meaning monster. Big monster movies. I love King Kong Escapes. And listen to this. Here's a cute story. Here is a poster for the film. Let me hold it like this so there's no glare. This film is out of control. It's definitely my favorite. It doesn't have Godzilla. It's got Gorosaurus, Mechanicong, King Kong. It also has Doctor Who. Not Doctor Who from England, Doctor Who from Japan. And I was at a monster convention, and I look at this table, and there's a girl, I don't know, she looked like she was in her early 60s, all alone at a table, and she had these posters out on her table to autograph. And it's the girl. It's the American girl. Look, she signed it, Linda Miller. And I got to take a picture with her, and I fanboyed for a few minutes and was like, wow, I mean, I can't believe I'm meeting you. Thank you for being here. You know, like, I've always wanted to meet somebody from one of these films, and here she is. So she signed this poster, and I'm a major fan. I love this movie. So, and me and my little buddy Ryder, who's out there, he is also a huge fan, and he made me. So my little buddy, when he comes over, he had a t-shirt made, and he had me a t-shirt made, and I was wearing it the other day. Look at this. He had me a King Kong Escapes t-shirt made. Thank you, Ryder. I love it. You're a real G fan. So, after Godzilla King Kong, after King Kong Escapes, Toho was they made a Rodan movie, they made a Mothra movie, and then they started plugging them into the Godzilla series. And Godzilla vs. Mothra is definitely one of the best ones. Hey, someone's tipping. You guys rule, man. Thank you for those tips. I'll give you a little bada bing. Bada bing. Watch the money fall. Clinking into the cup. Okay. So here is the list of the Showa series. So it goes Mothra, then Ghidra the three-headed monster. I used to have this memorized. Ghidra the three-headed monster is the first time Godzilla teamed up with Mothra and Rodan to beat Ghidra. Then you have Invasion of Astro Monster. Now we've got full-blown UFOs, aliens, and Godzilla traveling to outer space. That is also one of my favorite movies. If you're taking notes, Invasion of Astro Monster. And Invasion of Astro Monster has one of my favorite Godzilla actors, or actresses, as I should say, Kumi Mizuno. Kumi Mizuno is in a lot of Japanese films. She's in a couple of Godzilla-type movies, a lot of Toho films. She's in Mantango, Attack of the Mushroom People. And here is one of my holy grail toys. Folks, behold, Miss Namikawa from Godzilla. Look at this toy. This is a glorious doll of Miss Namikawa. I'm gonna put it in the hand cam here. Let me see if I can get a good close up here. This is one of my holy grail toys. Let's start at the feet. Ooh, she's got little curly boots. Let me see here if I can. Let's get the focus. God, I'm sorry, the focus sucks. Here we go. Look at her. It doesn't do it justice in this box. Maybe I'll open the box. Let me see here. Let's do a gentle open here. I don't open these too often, but I do. Oh, God, this is a great toy. I looked this up to try to find one online, and there's one online, but the box is in bad shape. This is literally in basically a mint condition. Ooh, Miss Namikawa. Wow. Gosh, is she gorgeous here. Look at her. So she's very pretty in real life, and as an older lady, she's still very pretty. She's also in Godzilla Final Wars, the one of the newer ones. Let's go to... Oh, sorry here. I'm talking with the wrong camera on. Focus. Why won't that focus? Yeah. Why won't that focus? Hold on. Focus. There we go. So this doll is just... I don't really... Oh my God, the hair's real too. This is an amazing little thing. Godzuki? Who sees Godzuki? Oh, this? Actually, that's a little Godzilla. The reason why it looks like Godzuki is it's green, and people think Godzilla's green. He's not supposed to be green. He's supposed to be like a dark gray. So, let's keep moving here. Godzilla vs. Monster Zero is definitely one of my favorite ones. This book is called The Godzilla Compendium. It came out a long time ago, but it's a great resource. Oh, then we have Ibra, Horror of the Deep. Now, Ibra looks like... Ibra looks like a giant crab. He's like a little crab man. And Ibra was originally a King Kong film. And they ended up making it a Godzilla film. I kind of wish it was a King Kong film. It would make more sense. It's like a South Pacific kind of vibe. Then we have Son of Godzilla, which is pretty good. I actually like that movie. Then we get the anniversary film. It was like a big deal for Toho. They were like, we're going to do a big one. It was like, I think a 20-year... Was it 20? No, it was a 10-year anniversary. Destroy All Monsters. And they put a whole bunch of them in one movie. Believe it or not, it's not my favorite one. I like it, but it's not my favorite. And then they came out with All Monsters Attack. Now, that's one of those ones... Ah, hey, thank you, Eric. Another tip came in. Thank you, everybody, for these tips. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So... All Monsters Attack was made for little kids. It's about a little boy getting bullied, and there's a reality and a fantasy. And the fantasy part of the movie, where he trips out, goes to Monster Island, and you watch Minya, little Godzilla, learning how to deal with a bully. It's a movie about bullying. And the bully is Gabara, the only Toho monster I don't have a toy of. I don't have a Gabara toy. I don't. I have so many Godzilla toys. I do not own one. I am going to buy one. I'm going to write it down right now. I want a Gabara. Let's put down Gabara. Now, I do like the movie. I like the music in All Monsters Attack. The story's kind of silly, but it's cute. Then you've got... Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which is the Smog Monster film, 1971. Excellent movie, fun music, dark themed. Oh, yes, King Caesar's here. I got a King Caesar here. Ooh, yeah. Then we've got a new bad guy, Godzilla versus Gigan. Gigan is the guy that, I don't know if you know this one. That's Gigan. He's very popular. And then Godzilla versus Megalon. Considered to be one of the cheap ones, but it has Jet Jaguar, the robot. It was them trying to cash in a little bit on the Ultraman vibe. So you have Godzilla and the robot team up to fight Megalon and Gigan. Interesting. Movie, kind of silly. And then that one didn't do so well, and it definitely looks cheap. The budget was low. So they came out with the next one, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. This film, wow, really cool. It's got Mechagodzilla, it's got Godzilla, and it has King Caesar. For those of you who are like, what the heck is King Caesar? This is what he looks like. He's adorable. He looks like a little dog monster. He's like got a dog monster vibe. Yeah. And googly-eyed. And he walks on two legs. Love him. Now, a lot of people don't know this. I'm going to show you something really interesting here. Godzilla has some moments. In the Smog Monster film, he flies. He literally jumps in the air and blows his breath and flies. And people don't realize this, but Godzilla can talk. Listen to this.
Something funny going on. You better check. Oh, yeah. Hurry up.
Wow, he's bossy. Now, in the English version, they didn't have the bubbles. Those bubbles were only in the Japanese version, which I love those bubbles. Yeah, I remember the first time I noticed that when I was little. I was like, whoa, is he talking? Weird. That one is from Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. I believe that's what that's from. Yeah. Pretty weird. Another one is when Godzilla does the victory dance in Invasion of Astro Monster. He does the victory dance. I mean, they added humor in this stuff. How can you not? And then after Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, we're getting to the mid to late 70s here, folks. This is where, like, Star Wars is coming out, and these movies look kind of cheap on the special effects. I'm one of those persons that cheap effects don't mean bad to me. Cheap effects sometimes means more heart, because they don't have the money to pull it off, but they have a lot of heart. So they followed up Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla with a film called The Terror of Mechagodzilla, and I liked it, but that was the end of the Showa series, pardon me. And that was it, and people thought it was over. Now, the first Godzilla movie I saw at the movie theaters was in 1985. So I was, I was 12, 13. And of course, I see it's coming out, Godzilla 1985, coming to the movies from Japan. The real Godzilla is going to have an American release. I'm all over that, right? I went with my dad, and I was mildly disappointed. He didn't fight any monsters. They added the Raymond Burr stuff for the American version. Like, they Americanized it. It was okay. Now we're entering the Heisei series. And in that series, there is... I'm going to go over them because there's some cool ones. Godzilla 85 was followed up with Godzilla versus Biollante. Biollante is a rose combined with Godzilla. Literally. He's a flower. And I had the Biollante toy. It was Bandai made it. It was a really big toy. And when I had that toy, it was valuable when it came out. I remember it had value and hard to get. And it came in a box, and I had the box. And when I moved to New York, I was broke all the time, and I had to pay rent. And I sold that toy to pay rent once. I did. I wish I had it, but I also don't mind not having it. I sold that and a Megalon. I had a Bandai Megalon I sold for like $300-400. It's okay. Things come and go, and if I want it again, I'll find another one. But, yeah, I like Biollante. The follow-up to that was Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Now, Ghidorah is everybody pronounces it different. Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, or Kingu Ghidorah is the actual Japanese pronunciation. Kingu is king, and Ghidorah. There's a lot of Americans, we put the stress like Ghidorah or Ghidorah. And for them, it's like ba-ba-ba, Ghidorah. It's ba-ba-ba. I like Godzilla versus King Ghidorah because it gave everything a backstory. You learned in that story how the Big G became the Big G. It was a dinosaur trapped on an island that got a nuke nearby. The radiation mutated that dinosaur to turn into the Big G. And in the movie, they use a time travel plot. They go back to the time during that era, like in the World War II era, with 3 doe-rats. Doe-rats are these little golden-looking monsters that are like these cute little guys, and they leave them on the same island as Godzilla, and those turn into King Ghidorah. So they gave it a backstory. That was followed up with Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, which I actually love. It's cheesy, but I love it. And then they ended that series with what they said was the death of Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Destroya. And I like it. I thought that was a good one. That one's like a mixture of Aliens and a Godzilla movie. Yeah, it starts off with Godzilla's red. His skin's red, and it's because he's going into nuclear meltdown. Yeah, pretty awesome. So that series to me was amazing because you couldn't watch those movies. All of those movies I just said, Biollante, the one with the time travel plot, you couldn't go to the video store and rent them. They were not released here. They were only released in Japan, and you could only find them on videotapes at like weird comic book stores, which is where I was spending all my time and money. Those stores also sold Bandai toys. And I was in a hole. I literally was in that world. I lived in comic stores, model kit shops, monster conventions, collecting videotapes. I got rid of every single videotape I own, except for my Godzilla tapes, which is why I'm mad, because I had here my very first videotape I ever bought. I have it here. So I literally been moving so much junk around. Oh, I don't see it. Anywho, what does it say? Cheap effects is why I got into Doctor Who. Yeah, cheap effects means heart. It really does. They can be done well. So while all of these movies are coming out in Japan, brand new Godzilla movies that we don't get, TriStar Pictures puts out one. Now, I don't consider that a Godzilla movie. I don't include it. It's called Godzilla. And all the people that are Godzilla fans, we call him... Yeah, it was hard to get, that movie. We call the Godzilla in the TriStar film Gino. And Gino is an acronym for Godzilla in name only. Because that's all it is. It's junk. It's a bad version of Jurassic Park with Matthew Broderick. I saw it at the movies. I didn't get to the end. It's one of the films I remember walking out of. I was angry. I thought it was a ripoff. They should not have called it Godzilla. The only cool part about that movie is one day I was in Chelsea, in Manhattan, walking through with my bass guitar, going to a Toilet Boy rehearsal, and I see a giant pile of rubber fish And I'm like, why is there a giant pile of rubber fish? And they're like, oh, they were filming Godzilla today. So when no one was looking, there's my Godzilla fish from the film. So the scene where he's eating fish in the middle of the city as a trap, there's one of the fish. So now that movie sucked. No one liked it. We have all these cool Japanese movies no one ever gets to see, right? Finally, the millennium starts to roll in. They start to release all of these cool Japanese Godzilla movies, and they're going to put out a new one, Godzilla 2000, or Godzilla Millennium. Godzilla Millennium. And that movie came to the movie theaters, and I went and saw it, and I think I went and saw it 3 times. I really enjoyed it. Finally, a good Godzilla movie at the movie theater. I liked the music. I liked his new design. I liked that he fought an alien. I'm a fan of the film. I really do think it's a cool movie. And there's an American version and a Japanese version, and yes, they are a little different. The American version had one thing that the Japanese didn't. When he hits the UFO with his tail, the sound. In the American version, it goes, dong. It makes this funny ringing noise, which I always liked. And that new millennium period, they put out some neat ones. So we got Godzilla 2000. People don't know this, but a lot of the actors in the Godzilla films, they're really well-known actors in Japan. They're no joke. They're like famous people that were like, hey, I want to be in a Godzilla movie. And they took it seriously. That's why I like a lot of those films. They have a heart in them. They're obviously goofy concepts, but, you know, over the years, the character of Godzilla changed his vibe. He means a lot of things to many people. You know, sometimes he's a bad guy, sometimes he's the good guy. Sometimes he's both. He's a force of nature, which is why I like the character. He represents also, he's not evil, and he's not good. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus was the follow-up to the Millennium film. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then the third one of the Millennium series, GMK. The whole title is Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack. That's the title of the film. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack. People don't realize how long Japanese film titles are. And in that film, there is a monster. Oh, did I forget to bring him? Hold on. I'm going to put a picture up and go get this. You got to see. It's Baragon. Where's Baragon? Oh, that's a picture of the original Godzilla actor, Haruo Nakajima, and the original King Kong. Hold on. I'm going to go get Baragon. Where's Baragon? Baragon. Where's Baragon? Oh, I didn't see him. Here he is. Here's Baragon. Okay. So, Haruo Nakajima. Now, let me get to the live cam. I forgot to mention, Inoshiro Honda is the director of the first chunk of the Godzilla series. He's the mastermind. Akira Ifukube is the composer. I'm a major fan. I think he's one of the greatest film composers of all time. And Eiji Tsuburaya is the special effects master, who made all the suitimation and the buildings and all the special effects. That's the dream team, folks, right there. Honda, Ifukube, and Tsuburaya. They're the man. That is Baragon, folks. And Baragon is the first time a female portrayed a kaiju in a Japanese monster movie. Now, feminine-wise, Mothra is considered the feminine form of these Daikaiju. She's a mother type, you know, with her babies and the whole story. Baragon is tiny compared to in the film. Baragon's literally like that size compared to Godzilla. So they got this tiny little lady to play the part, and boy, does she steal the show. So Baragon's definitely, Baragon's definitely one of my favorite movie monsters. And Baragon's in another movie. Baragon is in a film called Frankenstein Conquers the World. So the Japanese eventually did make that Frankenstein movie, Frankenstein. And in Frankenstein Conquers the World, it's Toho doing Frankenstein. And guess what? He's big. and not only is he big, he fights Baragon. And then they made a sequel to that, War of the Gargantuans. It's the Frankenstein monster and his brother. They call them different things, though. Sanda and Gaira. Great movie. Another wonderful Toho film, War of the Gargantuans. Write that one down. If you want to see a cool monster movie, check that out. So, we've got... Ooh, I got lost. Oh, yeah. GMK, All Out Attack. So GMK All Out Attack, they kind of rebooted the Godzilla series. They made Godzilla the bad guy, and King Ghidorah is the good guy in this one. It's Ghidorah, Mothra, and fighting Godzilla. It's great. Then they did Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. How can anybody remember these titles? They're all sound the same. And then Tokyo SOS, which I did see at the movies. I got to see that at the movies. All of these are great. And then it was time for them to say, hey, it's the 50th anniversary of Godzilla. We're going to give it an end. We're going to give it a big splashy film. And I remember hearing about it. There's going to be 16 monsters in a film called Godzilla Final Wars. And I have here on the table, this is the set of toys that came out for that series. And literally, there was Godzilla, Mothra, this spaceship, which is in another Toho film. Look at this little tiny spider, Kumonga, Kamakiris, the praying mantis, Minya. People say Manila because they're not pronouncing it right. It's Minya. Minya is Baby Godzilla. Manda, who's only in one other Godzilla film, basically. Rodan, King Caesar, Anguillus, Gigan, of course Mothra, or she's over there. And instead of King Ghidorah, Kaiser Ghidorah. Kaiser Ghidorah has 4 legs. Still has 2 tails, 4 legs. And a new monster, Monster X. Look at this creepy guy. So these are all the monsters in Final Wars. When it came out, I was so excited. I couldn't wait. I got the DVD of it. I did not get to see it at the movies. No, Jet Jaguar was not in that film. They should have put him in there, maybe. I liked Final Wars. People hated it. It is basically very reminiscent of a 1970s Godzilla film. It's science fiction. That set came individual. But for the 50th anniversary, wow, where do you see this? Bandai put this out. It looks like a book on a bookshelf, and you open it, and it's the Final Wars monsters. All little ones, all lined up. It's hard to see in the package. This is a holy grail toy. This is hard to find. 50th anniversary. This is the first playset I ever bought. This came out when the Heisei series came out. I have so many of these playsets. These are all Bandai. Wait till you hear about this toy here. This is a really neat one. This is a holy grail too. We're getting close to finishing here, folks. I don't want to take all your time tonight, but my God, there's still a lot to talk about. So much. I hope you're having fun. Please, please, I hope you're having fun. I love Final Wars because it's over the top. It's loud. There's explosions. He even fights the American Godzilla. Gino, that's not here. That's the only one that's not here. He fights Gino for a second. A lot of the monsters, he only fights him for a second. I loved that movie. If you've got kids, there's a couple scary parts in it. Every now and then there's some violence in a Godzilla film that seems out of place. like gore. You're like, ooh, where'd that come from? This has a couple of those scenes, but wow, it's a cool film. It's still suitimation. It's still a guy in a suit. All of these are people in suits, right? And it didn't do that well. It actually was a flop in Japan. People hated it. So when that came out, Japan was like, okay, we're done for a while. So then the Americans took over. And, I mean, honestly, okay, so that first Godzilla movie, Legendary Pictures, when it was being advertised, I was psyched. I saw it. I like it, but I had problems with it. They made it look like Walter White, what's his name? Bryan Cranston is the star, and he's not. He's only in it for a little bit, and then he dies, and they don't even show his death. It's really weird. It's like they needed a cameo of a celebrity to sell the film, and to me that was weird. The pacing was weird. They made you wait way too long to see the monsters, and then as soon as they showed up, they kept cutting the camera. Like they never showed a full scene until the end. Now, the end battle, yes, it's good. The effects were wonderful. It's finally Godzilla. It is Godzilla. It's not sort of Godzilla. It's him. I mean, it's him in all his glory. So I did enjoy it, but I had major problems. But I was happy that they did take care of the character. They were very respectful. The follow-up to that film, thumbs up. King Kong Skull Island. Woo! Boy, is that good. For a high-budget B movie, it's a perfect. Out of all the new ones, I've seen that one the most. It's King Kong fighting monsters on Skull Island. It's not a remake. It's a new film. All the King Kong movies are usually remakes. This was not. This is a new movie in the Godzilla-verse. The follow-up to that was Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it's the first time the Americans were tackling other kaiju. King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. Thumbs up. Pretty cool. I gotta say the final battle in the first one I thought was a little better maybe. A little more realistic in the way he moved. Some of the Ghidorah stuff got a little silly, but I like it. I'm not going to complain. It's a great movie. And we all knew what was coming. We all knew when we saw Skull Island that they took King Kong, who's supposed to be this big, and made him this big. Of why they did it. It's because they were getting him ready for the big G. And next week, it comes out 60 years later. The film that's going to save Hollywood, folks. The big splashy Hollywood film we've all been waiting for to bring us out of this dark time is going to be this fella right here, folks. He's going to rise out of the water and ash and come back. And from what I read already, the reviews are good. I haven't read any bad ones yet. Some people say it's cheesy, but I mean, dude, it's a giant monkey and a giant lizard fighting, okay? Of course it's going to be cheesy. But what do you expect? I want a good story. I want good effects. I want respect to the characters. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to like it. I'm going to try to see it in a movie theater. And, of course, I'm going to buy some toys. I can't wait to see the toys that come out. I've seen some. There's definitely surprises in the new film. I'm not going to spoil them now. Try not to read too much about it. Go see it. But, I forgot one Godzilla film. A big one. And I wanted to talk about this a lot. There's a movie that a lot of people don't know about called Shin Godzilla. Shin Gojira. Shin Gojira came out not that long ago, and it was Japan returning to the film Godzilla. And I got to see it in the movie theater, and it is one of the better films. I'm going to be honest, folks. Now, I got to see it in a movie theater. Me and a group of friends went and saw it. Actually, Peter H. Gilmore was there with me. And Magus Peter H. Gilmore is a Godzilla expert. And he actually pointed out that Shin Gojira isn't I forgot this. He just pointed it out yesterday to me. It's CG. It looks like a suit. They made the CG move a little bit like the suit, which is great. It looks real. I thought it was real. You can't tell. And I love the film. The story is really interesting. It's the first time I will say watch the dubbed version. Now, a lot of people like dubbing because it kind of reminds them of their childhood watching Godzilla films. You know, hey, how are you? You know, the mouths don't match anything. Eddie Murphy was really good at that. Hey, how you doing? That film, Shin Godzilla, you need to watch the dub. You can't read the subtitles because it's too fast of a film. You'll be reading the whole time and be missing everything. It's like blah, 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 the dialogue. The film has a really important story, and it's about bureaucracy and government bureaucracy and how bad it's gotten. And it also brings up the notion that Japan is not allowed to have a offensive military. They're only allowed a defensive military by the treaties they signed after the war, and that's part of the story too. So it has a really good story. The special effects are outstanding, and Godzilla, his evolution of how he becomes the Godzilla in the movie, amazing. And I'll say this, I don't want to spoil anything, the very last frame of the film gave me goosebumps. The last frame, it's like, so it's a work of art. I will say it. It's in my top 5 favorite Godzilla films. Shin Gojira. I highly recommend it. Kids won't find it interesting, maybe. Adults, yes. Watch it. I really recommend it. Now, that's all the movies. There are 3 anime films right now on Netflix from Japan. They're great. And there's a new anime series coming out any minute now that looks fantastic. It's got a neat edge to it. And Jet Jaguar's in it. I already saw that in the trailer. You clearly see this weird version of a Jet Jaguar. He's got weird legs, but it's him. There was an IMAX movie planned, a 3D IMAX Godzilla thing that was canceled. That never came out. So that's the series. That's the films. There's a lot. Shin Godzilla, that's it, Seth. Yep. Seth, you're going to love it. Your jaw's going to be on the floor. Godzilla does a few things in it that you've never seen him do that are kind of cool. And the way they treat him is scary. He's scary. And it's a little bit of a reflection of Fukushima, the disaster. So, yeah, it is. Dubbing is part of the charm. But when you see the original versions in their native tongue, they do have a different energy. And sometimes some things pop out that you might not have noticed. Also, the soundtracks have different vibes. Yeah, I've seen all versions of all of these films, and I will continue to always be a fan. I do want to show you some stuff here. For fans of gaming, this Godzilla game that you can get on Amazon for a very good price. It's a Funko game. Godzilla Tokyo Clash. I give this 2 thumbs up, and I'm a picky gamer. I like this. You get to play one of 4 monsters. You get to play either Godzilla, Ghidorah, Megalon, which is a weird choice, and Mothra. And you fight. And you pick up buildings and throw them at each other. And it's pretty tactical. You feel like a kaiju. This toy here is very special. Real action hero. Look at this. It is a rubber suit with a zipper, a Velcro zipper, that you peel off. And inside, you can put, and I'm going to put him here, the actor. It came with Haruo Nakajima, the first Godzilla actor. Comes with a doll. And the doll has this head that goes on his head, because people don't realize this. When you see Godzilla in the movie, the actor's head is where the neck is. It's not up here. It's down here. And a lot of the films, you can see the eye holes. You can clearly see it. Angry video game nerd is a huge fan of the guy. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Yeah, I like subtitles. Dubbing has charm too. Yeah. So this doll, you put the head on it, and you work your arms, and you put him in. He fits in the costume. How cool is that? And that's one of my favorite toys. And I keep this one under glass so it preserves the skin. It's a rubber suit. It's actually a miniature suit. And I'm gonna do a close up. They made this dude here looks cool. Focus. There we go. Look at how cool he looks with his little white shirt and shorts. Now, well, I really want to say that the fact that one of my little buddies, Ryder, I don't know if he's still awake watching, when I saw a 3-year-old, or at the time 2-year-old, he was, I don't know if we were on the beach or we were at my house. It's a surf family. It's a family of surfers. If you're watching, hi Greg. They all surf, and we all surf together on the beach, so we're always hanging out on the beach, right? And the kids play, and I gave him a little tiny Godzilla toy. Why? Because I have lots of them here. And he took to it like that. And he immediately remembered the name and started asking what the other monsters' names were. And I realized that part of the appeal is that the archetypes of the different monsters mean different things to different people. Well, Fingers just said something. I'll bet it got hot in the suit. Not only did it get hot, they filmed the movie in August, the first one, and inside the suit is bamboo, paper, cloth, metal, just all this junk. Oh, he's sleeping? And yeah, it was hot, and the guy would pass out. It's dangerous. So watching little kids take all of these archetypes, you've got gorillas and lizards and pterodactyls, and you've got all these different monster animal types being represented in a fantastical form. Of course little kids are going to get into this like that. Little boys and little girls like things that are big and powerful. It's like when I was little, I liked backhoes. Why? Because they look like a dinosaur. I liked big and powerful things. Things that created awe and wonder. Right there. Right here, this toy. Look how big the toy is. It's still a big toy. And I didn't know when I was really little of how vast of the series there was. So there was endless things to discover. Really, just nonstop discovering new things about this genre. Kept me interested. And when I found out about this toy, I was shocked. So some of you know this story, but when I moved to New York City, I befriended Tom O'Horrigan. Seth, did you ever get to come to Tom O's house with me? You might have. I think you did. You're watching, Seth. I see you're in here. So Tom O'Horrigan, when I met him, I first got hired to be in a play that he directed, and then he started hiring me to build props and perform magic and do just whatever at his home. And then we just all became friends. So then I just started celebrating, Christmas and Thanksgiving. And then my family and my mother and my kids. And we were just part of the family. And it was a big, wonderful family. Yes, you were there, right, Tom? So, Seth, when you went to Tom O's, was it a Christmas party with me? Or was it an event? See if you remember what it was. But the first time I walked into this guy's house, he was the original director of Jesus Christ Superstar and Hair. And he's also the first director ever in Broadway history to have 5 shows at one time on Broadway. So coming from a theater background, this dude's a living legend, right? And I'm not only hanging out with him, I'm like friends with him. So I walk into his house and he's got a Godzilla collection. Wow. We have a lot in common. Yep. Oh, yeah. You were there for a Christmas party. Okay, cool. I'm glad you got to go there because you got to be part of something that was legendary. That house and just the crew of people there. And when Tom O passed away, his estate were like, yo, you want something cool? I was like, sure, to remember him. I mean, he had already given me toys and stuff before as presents, and they gave me this. And this is called Poppy Jumbosaurus. And it's what they modeled this after. This toy was modeled after this toy. I'm going to do a close-up now so you can get a good look. Come on, focus, focus. Now, notice the hands look exactly the same. They're literally the same hands, except a little smaller. Yes, he shoots. Go, shoot. Uh-oh, it's stuck. This hand shoots. It's a little stuck. It's a little dangerous. Oh, there it goes. There goes the hand. Now, this one does not have the tongue that sticks out, but it does have a pull string. Listen to this. I love it. It doesn't sound like Godzilla. It sounds more like one of the Ghidorah screams. Listen to that. Oh, that was different. Oh, it doesn't. I didn't realize this. I don't want to play it too much because. Oh, I didn't realize it has more than one. Wow. I don't pull the string often. Any pull string toy, the more you do it, they don't last. I have a Pee Wee Herman one that doesn't work anymore. There's a little miniature record inside. That's how they work. It's a little piece of vinyl that spins with a needle. This is a holy grail. Not only did it belong to a dear friend, a living legend, in the Godzilla world, this is hard to find. These are a few grand. Yeah, easy. And this one's in great shape. It's got all the toes. The toes need a little bit of a paint job, but it's all here. The tail, the volume works. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite Godzilla toys that I will cherish for the rest of my natural born life. I had so many things I wish I could have shown you. I've got a bunch of really little Godzillas. I've got metal ones. I got the Bandai. When you say Bandai vinyl, this is what I think of. This kind of size. Over the years, I've slowed down on my Godzilla collecting. I don't buy them all the time. I do like the model kits. This is the Aurora model kit. What happened to your eye? My eye? Huh? Is there something wrong with my eye? Godzilla's eye? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm like, This is an Aurora model kit. This is not an original. It's a reprint. But these were very popular in the 60s and 70s. And they made a few. There's a Gamera one too. So a lot of people ask about Gamera. Gamera is the Flying Turtle movies from Japan. I love them. They're great. I wish they'd start making those again. In the 90s, there's a Gamera series with Steven Seagal's daughter that came out in Japan. That's awesome. Gamera Guardian of the Universe. It's one of the best Daikaiju films ever made, that series of 3 films. You can get a Gamera box set of all the movies for like $10 now. Some of the old ones are pretty cheesy, but the new ones, the 90s ones, are very good. One more toy here. I had there's 2 of these. Far East Monsters was going to do a Destroy All Monsters set. One toy. They were going to do each monster in the movie, and this is one of the ones. And it lights up. Yeah, they only did 2. They did this and King Ghidorah, and that was it. So Far East Monsters. Maybe one day somebody will pick up the mantle and finish these. Wow. Folks, I just talked nonstop for an hour and a half. We are going to draw the prize winner. I hope everybody's watching. I'll give you one more chance. If you write the number 4 right now in the next 2 minutes, number 4, because that's how many toes the original Godzilla has. 1, 2, 3, 4. He also has 2 fangs and ears, the original one. You're going to win a copy of Grandpa's Witched Up Christmas by James Flora, published by Feral House Publishing. Yeah. Number 4, because we're going to roll the dice in 2 seconds here. Oh, there's Seth. There's Sarah. Bring it in, dude. Fingers. I think Fingers, you're already in here. I don't know if you're in there already. If you're already in here, you got it. If you already did it, we got you. Yeah, folks, I had a blast tonight. I hope you guys did too. We're not done yet. We're getting there. I want to thank the donors. Thank you. Some of you donated tonight. It all goes into the show. If you're new and you're watching this, please hit that like and subscribe. I am trying to get to 1,000. By gods, it's hard to get to. They have made this not easy. They're trying to... Ooh, Giuseppe Santa Sauce. What a great name. Yeah, Feral House, Adam Parfait. Let me raise a glass to him. Adam Parfait, the founder of Feral House. Cheers. Hail Adam. He passed away a few years ago. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I hope you guys all go watch some G. I'm going to do a formal review of the film after I see it in the next couple weeks. Yeah, Libra Liz, thank you. I love chatting about movies like this. I love that I had a huge crowd in here all night. It means so much to me that I'm able to turn my camera on and there's an audience. Without you, I have nothing. Actors and performers have to remember that. It's all you need is the actor, but you don't have a show unless you got the audience. And I got an audience. Not only do I have an audience, I got a good audience. I got a smart audience. Thank you. Yeah, without you, I mean, really, I have a very stimulating audience. You guys give me ideas to do shows. And I hope I give you ideas to go learn stuff too. I love talking philosophy. I love talking theology. But I also like talking about this stuff because I actually take Godzilla very seriously. When I was a little kid, Godzilla was a friend. I felt like a freak when I was little. I didn't look different than anybody. I grew up in a very, white American town. I always felt different. Like all the other kids were out playing sports. I was inside playing with monsters. I was inside doing a magic show to my stuffed animals. The other kids were out throwing footballs, and I was having a funeral for a doll. This is what I did, and I felt comfort in my monsters. They were a reflection of who I was. They were a reflections of things that might have scared me, but then I wasn't afraid of them anymore because I made friends with them. And it's something I always, and I'm going to end on this note. I'm going to roll the dice. I am going to be doing evening out. So my show, thank you, everybody. My show is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Unless I'm sick or something happens, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right. I got a big old list here. One of you might win twice. I know our first winner. I'm doing these every Friday now. Amanda, you won 2 weeks ago. Helen, you won, which I got to mail yours out. I have it ready to go. I just got to get... The post office is close. I just haven't been feeling well. So this is what I wanted to end on before I roll this dice. I remember one day I was doing a magic show somewhere. I remember where. I was doing a magic show for the St. Albans Veterans Hospital for the old guys and the old ladies in the Veterans Hospital. And, they're kind of, it's a home. It's an old age home. And a lot of them are neglected. And they would hire me to do magic shows. And what a great thing. I was getting paid by the state to entertain these old veterans. And a beautiful thing. And one day I was just setting up for the show. And I met a dude one of the nurse practitioner type guys, and he was from India. And I have no idea how we got into a philosophical discussion. But he said to me at the end of the conversation, he goes, hey, if you make friends with all the monsters and all the devils, you have nothing to fear. And that's what I did when I was a little kid. So here we go. Where's my dice? Let's choose my die. And we're going to roll. That's a D16. Wow. This is a D30. Where's my... All right, here we go. All righty, folkies. Let's see who wins the prize tonight via a Boardgasm dice tray. Let's move my dice here. Oops. Wow, I'm going to have a lot to clean up. All right. May the best person win on this one. Good luck to all of you. You're going to be getting an awesome book from Feral House Publishing in mint condition right now. Number 2, Peter Benedetti in the house. Peter, are you in the house? Peter, if you're in the house, you got to respond, and you are going to be getting a book in the mail. It's funny because I'm a fan of Peter Benedetti. Peter Benedetti is an amazing artist, and he creates tarot cards and beautiful works of art. I don't know if he's still in here. Technically, you have to still be in here to win. Uh-oh. He's here. Yay! You just won a cool book, Peter. So, Peter, shoot me your home address, and I'll drop this off. And you're going to have a cool book. And if you got nieces, nephews, or you like cool 1970s kids book art, you're going to get a kick out of this. Awesome. Folks, I love doing this show. I love the crowd that comes in here. I have a blast, and I got a lot more content coming on the way. And I hope it's stimulating, and I hope you're having a good time. This has been episode 40. Yes, fingers, DCC on Monday. Yes. We are going to go back to DCC on Monday. That's a role-playing game reference. This is episode 47 of my evening hour. Its title was All Hail Godzilla, and we certainly did that. So cheers to you, Mr. Godzilla. Thank you for your what you have brought to the cinema for people like me and all the people watching. Thank you. Cheers. And I'll see you on Monday. Let's take the outro. Where are we here? Oh, yeah, and if you're new to this, hit that subscribe button, man. Later.